This is a continuation of the Math 1001 Unit 2's problem solving session. This is on simple interest, which can be found in section 7.3 of the ebook. Let's start with a few definitions before we jump into the problems. First of all, we'll talk about capital I, which is the symbol we use for interest, which is used a lot in the next few sections of this book. So interest is an amount of money, and it's one of two things. It's either the amount you can earn on an investment or it's the amount you pay to borrow some money. So either one, earn on an investment. So this is putting money in a bank account or something like that. So earn, wrote of instead, earn on an investment. Or interest can also be charged. So interest can be what you pay to borrow money. This would be more the case of a loan. Okay, so interest on an investment is good. That's money coming in your pocket. Interest on a loan is not as good. That's extra money you have to pay to borrow that money. Okay, the principal, the capital P, principal, this is the beginning amount in the account. So in an investment, the principal would be what you put in the bank account. In a loan situation, the principal would be how much money you borrowed. The rate is a percent of the principal. And it kind of depends on, again, what's going on. It's the percent that you earn on investment, if it's an investment situation, or it's the percent of the principal you pay to borrow the money. Again, depending if this is an investment or a loan situation. And then T stands for time or term. You'll see both. And this is the length of time for the investment. And also in our formulas, it will always be in years. Okay. One other thing to note about this rate, when you put it in our formulas, always express the rate as a decimal. Okay. Usually in the problem, it will give it to you as a percentage, but you need to convert it to a decimal before you put it into a problem. Okay, so that's simple interest. And if we look here at the top, our formula for simple interest is I equals PRT. And simple interest is when interest is only calculated off of the principal. So just that beginning amount. We'll look later at situations where interest will be calculated on interest as well. But for right now, simple interest is only calculated on the original amount, only on that principal. Okay. One other thing that we have is the future value. That is denoted by A. So let's make sure we point that out as well. A is the future value. So what your account ends up having. A is our future value, and it's the principal plus the interest. Okay. So an account has a beginning balance. Let's look at A here. An account has a beginning balance of $1,200. So let's highlight that. And earns 2.5% simple interest per year. How much interest does the account earn in 6 years? And what is the future value? So let's go through this and make sure we know everything it's asking for. So an account has a beginning balance of $1,200. That tells me, so I'm going to try to squeeze it in here, that $1,200 is a P. This 2.5% simple interest, this is my rate, but remember we're going to change it to a decimal. So I move that decimal point two spots to the left. It says how much interest. This tells me that I is my question mark. I is what I'm looking for. Does the account earn in 6 years? That tells me that my time is 6. So that's my first question. But then my second question asks, what is the future value? So my secondary question is A equals question mark. And up here, I didn't put 1,200, but that's what it is. So by reading through that problem, I found lots of variables. So this is a simple interest situation, so I know that I equals PRT. I is what I'm looking for, so I'm going to leave it as a variable. P I found is 1200. My rate was 0.025, and my time was 6 years. Therefore, my interest, I'll multiply those together and I get $180. So interest is $180. So this one, it earns money per year, so you're getting $180 extra dollars. Okay, my future value A is P plus I. That's my principal plus my interest. So how much money will be in it in the future here 6 years later. So my principal is $1,200 plus my interest is $180. So in 6 years, I add those together, this account will have $1,380 in it. Okay, so let's move to a new one. So to purchase 2 new copiers, a campus bookstore paid $1,350 in interest on a 7.9% simple interest loan that lasted 4 years. We want to find the principal. So let's go through what were each of these. What did each of these mean? So $1,350 interest, that means they are giving us I this time. I is $1,350. It is a 7.9% simple interest loan. So my rate, that's a rate. Remember, we change it to a decimal, so I move it to the decimal point 2 places to the left and get 0.079. For 4 years, that tells me that time or term is 4. And it asks me to find the principal. So P is the question mark here. P is the one I don't know. So let's remember our formula. I equals PRT. This time I know I, so I'm going to fill it in. 1,350 equals P, I don't know, so I'll write the P there. My rate is 0.079, and my time is 4. Okay, so I need to isolate that P. I need to get it by itself. So 1,350 equals P times, well, I can do 0.079 times 4. That's 0.316. Make sure you're not rounding here. I didn't round there. That was everything that was in the calculator. But make sure you're not rounding. Just round at the end of these kind of problems. And then I can divide by 0.316 on both sides. It cancels over here on the right. And then I have P equals, and on the left, I'll do the 1,350 divided by 0.316. And I end up getting $4,272.15. So my principal was $4,272.15. All right, we have one more question, part C. So it says, find the term of a loan of $10,500 at an annual rate of 12%, and the simple interest amount is $8,190. So what do each of these mean? Well, term is T, and it says find the term, so that's my question mark here. On a loan of $10,500, this means that's my principal, that's the beginning amount. An annual rate of 12% tells me that R, remember, is 0.12. We'll change it to a decimal. And the simple interest amount, I, is $8,190. So there are the things that I have. So we know that I is PRT. So interest, I know, is $81.90. Is principal, $10,500, times rate, times time is T. I don't know time yet. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. So then I need to get that T by itself. I'm going to do something a little different here. I'm just going to write 10,500 times 0.12. I'm going to divide by that on both sides. And notice this cancels and this cancels, and I'm left with T equals, and now we'll do this division on our calculator. It may help to use your fraction mode if you have a TI-84. It makes things look a little bit nicer. If you're having issues with how to put things in the calculator, just let me know and I'm happy to help. Here, once we put that in though, we get a t equals 6.5, and we know that's in years because that's how our terms work. Or it's always measured in years. So there we go. That's how we can handle simple interest questions.